Welcome to the Aisha Muhammad podcast. So happy that you have decided to join us this Thursday evening, or should I say night, as it's 9 o'clock. And this is episode three of COVID Conquerors. What is COVID Conquerors? Well, it is something that I have created to bring to you, whereby I am showcasing some brilliant and phenomenal women primarily, but also men who are, despite this pandemic, thriving, serving others, and thriving personally in their own lives. And COVID Conquerors really wants to give hope, and it's here to inspire those who may be feeling a little lost at this time, worried at this time, even in despair at this time that we are living in during this pandemic. So please share this with those who you know that it's going to benefit. And I just really want you to just relax, get your favorite drink, and just chill as we have this lively conversation, because the sister that I'm interviewing today, Barke, she is very, very lively in personality, in spirit. This is why I love this sister. And we're just gonna have a nice time. So those of you who do not know who I am, my name is Aisha Muhammad, and I'm the host of the Aisha Muhammad podcast. And I'm also a content creator and a newly qualified life coach. So thank you again for joining us here tonight. So I'm just going to ask my guest to introduce herself, because she's just so full of energy. I'm going to just let you feel some. So Barke, tell us, who are you?
Oh, thank you so much, Aisha. I'm just honored to be here today. And for everybody else, as you know, my name is Barke Faraj Kamuss, and I'm a lot of things that we're going to find out today. But I'm so happy and glad to be here today. So thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Now, please, as I said again, share this broadcast. We're live today on Facebook as well as YouTube. On YouTube, it's Elevation Time, which is a channel of mine that you can go to hear inspirational messages. Okay, so you can also watch over there, share, and let's have a good time. You can also actually host a watch party. That would also be great. So I'm going to just ask some questions about this wonderful sister I have here. She being a bit, you know, what can I say, humble, let's say, because she's the founder of Be Your Own Hero, and it's her published biography, and it's also a self-help book, and it's available on Amazon. And I wanted to know, because I'm very much into self-help, into self-care, self-love, and I want you to just let us know, what are the key life events that made you want to title your book, which is Be Your Own Hero, and to write a biography?
Well, the book name itself is What is Your Name? Because
Mhm.
of what I went through. I actually forgot my own name. Let's put it like that. Because of being the way I was brought up, is that women only should care or should put their lives as a second because of their husbands. So put their husband as priority and their children and their family. And so growing up with that mindset, that I forgot who I am or who I was at the time, as an individual, as a woman, as a mother, as a person. I only saw myself as a family unit, as we.
Mhm.
And that kind of lost identity of my own identity. I lost myself. And because of that, I actually realized that
Mhm. Oh, look, we have some bad connection happening. Hopefully, she'll come back in.
Aisha, you back?
So we just lost connection. You there, Barke?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, awesome, awesome. You just disappeared all of a sudden, but you're back. Carry on. He was basically just talking about how you lost yourself, basically. Yeah.
Yes, because end of the day, I was young, okay? I had my arranged marriage when I was 16 years old. I got married when I was
Mhm.
16. And straight away I started having a family. So I had my two children, and that made me to be kind of my whole focus. It was about my marriage, my family, and no one else really. And so it took years, but there was this lingering effect on myself. Why am I not happy? Why things are not the way it should be? So I kept
Mhm.
asking myself, why this person that I'm supposed to make them happy, or this person, the husband, that everything that I do is for him and for our family, but he's still not happy, or we're still in a very bad place. So I couldn't understand that. And so
Mhm.
every time I asked that question within myself, and until I started writing these questions down, and I
Mhm.
started following it with my own feelings and my own kind of understanding what is, or who's the problem, or what is the problem, what can I do better for myself. So
Mhm.
everything I just kept writing until one day, that is after my marriage is like what, 12 years, and
Wow.
it just hit me. And I was like, one day I will, like a normal day, and I went to the toilet, and next thing something came over me, and
Mhm.
I was just staring at this mirror.
Mhm.
And when I was staring at this mirror and I was just looking, and I was like, who is that? Have you ever had that feeling of, oh my God, I haven't seen this face for so long? For me, it
Mhm.
was like there was different person staring at me in, in my face. And I'm like, this is not me. This is someone else. Because the me that I remember is the 16-year-old, not this 30-something-year-old woman. And I'm
Mhm.
like, how can this be? The connection is not there. So
Mhm.
it was like a blindfold has been open and I can see myself. I hope you can hear me. Hello, Aisha. Can you hear me? Aisha, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. I'm just having a look at my other device. I can.
Can you hear me?
You seem to be okay on the page. You seem to be okay. If viewers, you can just let me know how it's sounding for you.
For me, it's fine. It's just
Yeah,
you seemed a bit like you're freezing. That's all. That's all I was asking,
yeah,
if you can hear
yeah.
me.
Same with you. Same with you. Okay, you can hear us. Okay, great. Continue. We're gonna get through
So,
this regardless.
so for me, was that knowing that, oh my God, is this really me? You know what I mean? I could not understand how can that be. But then the realization is that I'm not 16 anymore. I'm a
Mm,
grown woman, and
mhm,
I can make a difference, because my understanding and my belief at the time was that if I show my husband how good a woman I am and how good a mother I am, he would
mhm.
support me within my dreams, or with the dreams that I've got. But
Yeah.
to be honest, he wasn't. He didn't see me as that
Mhm,
woman that to be valued. He
mhm,
didn't appreciate me as I am. He wanted
mhm,
more, and he
mhm,
wanted something or someone else. But I was in denial at that time, because I was like, I'm giving you everything here. Why
mhm,
you're not doing what I want? So that kind of like, oh,
mhm,
it's not him. Because end of the day, the time
mhm,
came, and I was like, I thought at the time that I wasn't good enough because of what he says to me, of
Mm,
because of what he act in front of me. And
mhm,
so deep down, even though I felt like I can take it and I can handle this, and it's not
mhm,
abuse. At the time, I thought it wasn't abuse when someone, um, undermine you, or when someone belittling you, when someone makes you feel horrible about yourself. I thought to
mhm.
myself, no, I'm strong. I can take it. But
Yeah.
then time goes by and I'm like, it wasn't, I wasn't taking it. I was actually letting him kind of like rip me apart. And I didn't see
Mm,
the damage until it was too late.
mhm,
Because one day I was so numb that I wanted to actually hurt myself because I
mhm,
want to feel something. And
mhm,
so, and that when I was like, is it worth it for me to want to harm
mhm,
myself because I want to make someone else happy? And I was like, no, this is not the line I'm going to cross. I'm not going to go there.
mhm,
I'm not going
mhm,
to hurt myself for someone else. So I had to, because at the time for me, it felt like there's only two choices. Number one is stay in
mhm,
the marriage and die, or two, get away from this marriage and actually survive. That's all I had, those two choices.
mhm,
But at the 12 years of being married, I was still vulnerable. I was still in a pain. Okay. And I was still feeling that kind of because of where I come from, I and my also my religion, because being a Muslim and being on asking for divorce is such a
mhm,
big shame. And I
mhm,
was so worried that because I was going beyond the, like I didn't know about my religion very well at the time, that I thought
mhm,
God will be against me, that I
mhm,
thought that my own family would be against me and everyone else wouldn't understand. And so
mhm,
but deep down I knew I had to do this, but I just didn't have anyone who is on my corner and say it's going to be okay, you're all
mhm,
right, everything will be fine. I didn't have that. It was
mhm,
just me. So for me to actually taking action and say enough is enough, I want to walk away, but then him
mhm,
going to my parents and going to my family and say to them that there's something wrong with your child, you need to talk to her,
mhm,
because she wants a divorce, something is wrong, she's taking drugs or something, or she's drinking alcohol or something, it can't be real. And so
mhm,
for me,
mhm,
I was asked those questions. Why do you want to leave your husband? What did your husband do
mhm,
to you? And I couldn't
mhm,
answer those questions because I've never gone to my family and tell them that, this is something, there's a problem in my marriage. I
mhm,
wasn't that kind of person. So for the
mhm,
first time they hear a kind of a complaint, it's divorce. So for them, it's like, what? And so for me, all I'm saying to them, I'm like, I want to be happy. I want to be happy.
mhm.
And they're saying to me, there's no such thing as happiness in this world. I was like, wow.
Oh, wow, indeed.
I was like, oh. And they say to me, if you
Mm,
don't go back to your husband, we're going to disown you. So I was like,
mm,
wow, okay, good to know. But then there was something inside of me that I want to do better. I want to get out. I don't need this. But I
mhm,
couldn't because in my mindset, I felt that I wasn't good enough to live with my children because I wasn't financially able. I wasn't
mhm,
actually can take my children with me because of my financial situation. But also, he used to say to me, because come on, I was married when I was 16. I didn't finish school. Okay. I don't have a
mhm,
good job. And he used to repeat that to me. And so I was like, oh, I'm not worthy. I don't
mhm,
feel value. I don't feel, like I'm a good mother. And I have to leave the children with him because I cannot do it. But then the time went by and I'm
mhm,
actually looking for a place to go. And my son calling me and saying to me, Mom, there's no food in the house. There's we haven't eaten for like since they came out of school. And I was like, but your dad is home, no? And they said to me, yes, he's home, but he's drinking. And I was like, what? And so that kind of made me to say, would I really? Because I thought to myself that this man has it all. Okay. I thought to myself that this man is financially able. He has a family support. He can actually do better than I can. And then the action speaks louder than words that he cannot. So why am I leaving my children with? Nothing. So I went and I was like, no, I cannot do this because it's not right. This is not the way it should be. And so I went back to him and I was like, let's try again. And that took another 2 years. And I was like, 2 years. That actually was a blessing in disguise because it made me realize it's actually not getting better, it's getting worse. And everything changed because inside of me, I embraced my religion and I started asking questions about my religion. I wanted to know. And part of that is that I wanted to be in a place that I had no one and only God that I can go to. So what happened is that I wanted to know God if it's okay for me to do this. So I asked questions and I went to different scholars, and by looking and thinking and listening to their wisdom's words and everything and khutbah and everything else, and realized that it is in the Quran. If you are in a abusive relationship, or if you are in a relationship that is not working and you've tried everything, and there is a way of actually doing or taking the divorce. And actually, I did that in a way that is like, oh my goodness, I could not believe it because it made me feel, oh, wow. I am resilient, I am strong, and I am capable of living a life, not just any life, but a great life than I lived before. When I started believing in myself and seeing him, he's just a human being. He's not God or uh, even a prophet. He's a human being that makes mistakes. So looking at him and actually appreciate him as a man who makes mistakes and forgive him for what he did. And it's okay because I'm still alive and I'm still capable of changing my life or becoming who I want to become. And I am glad he gave me those challenges, you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't know if I was capable enough. I wouldn't know if I had all this strength. I wouldn't know if I was a resilient woman. So thank you. And I said to him, I was like, thank you so much for giving me so much that I can actually do something about it. And this is why my brand name, Barke, be your own hero, the way of thinking, because nobody else can come and rescue you and actually feel abundant is only if you can help yourself and lift yourself up. You can enjoy that abundance and you can actually keep it for the rest of your life. This is the key. But nobody can give you that happiness, only you can.
Wow, that's awesome. Awesome testimony. And there's so much that I could like extract from your experience that you shared, because a lot of us have the notion that us being with someone else, whether it's through marriage or partnership, is going to be the thing that makes us happy. And it really is about us knowing ourselves enough to explore what really does make us happy and to make that connection with God, Allah, whatever you call him, because I myself am a divorcee as well, and I can identify with some of the things that you went through, and that you so explained and painted that picture very well. When religion comes into things, it is very important to have an understanding, of that, because due to religion for, just hundreds and thousands of years, a lot of people have the wrong idea about it, aren't that very versed in it, and therefore tend to suffer in many different areas, but especially when it comes to relationships, from not having a proper understanding. So it was good that in your journey you were able to find understanding, and also realize that you had actually lost yourself. Like, when you looked in the mirror, you was like, who am I looking at? Who is this? And as women, we are nurturers, most definitely. But sometimes when it comes to us going through the journey of getting married and having children, you can lose who you actually are. Focus and understand that, you can have your own goals, your own dreams, and still play your role. So yeah, that is a real great testimony that you've shared with us, and there's much to be taken from it, and about coming out being more stronger and more resilient. It's life circumstances such as what many people are facing during this pandemic time that really is causing people to find out who they really are. They're finding out things about their spouses that they didn't know. It's bringing up lots of different feelings. It's making people wonder if they're really compatible with the person that they found themselves with, and are having to be in that valley of decision. And in other cases, people are becoming closer, being more bonded, and their relations stronger during this time as well. But one of the things that you also highlighted is abuse as well. And as the headlines have been telling us, that during this time of the pandemic, there's been a rise in domestic abuse. And this is something that's very, very concerning. And I just wondered if you could tell us more about some of the women that you work with. What are their stories? What are the significant issues that women suffer from, and is maybe showing an increase during this period of the pandemic?
A lot of women, especially for me, that comes to in my side is that Muslim women that I have more than any other, and it's most of the time is marital that is an issue here, and that can be, as you all know, okay, if you don't know, maybe you should know now, but a lot of Muslim people, they are in polygamy marriages, and sometimes it's so hard for women to keep up with that, with the way of living. And so jealousy comes to play with, and also within that, it brings out bring people to either yelling at each other, shouting. But the most important thing here that I've realized, because when I speak to a client, I listen to their story, but also I look at what is around them. And most of the time is the children.
Mm.
Whatever is going on between husband and wife, the children are getting the knock effect of that relationship or that abuse. And the parents don't realize how much it's actually taken in by that child or children. And this is where, when I work with a woman or the mother, most of the time is not just about her, it's about the children as well, because I cannot help her just for her. End of the day, I have to ensure she understands what is around or what is going on within her life, but also what is the consequences of their action to the children. Because I went through it myself, because when my husband at the time, when he knew he could not get the same effect as he did before, when he used to shout and yells, and he couldn't get that reaction from me. What happened is that he started going to the children, especially my daughter. And he
Mhm.
used to do that to my daughter, to hurt her or yelling at her or beat her, because he wants me to react. He
Mhm.
wants me to get that, to stand up and start shouting, because that's what he wants from me.
Mhm.
So being able to actually share that to the women and say, you can stop that. You can
Mhm.
actually be a bigger person and not
Mhm.
let it go beyond that point. And you can learn to actually ways of talking or ways of being there, but not being aggressive, or also knowing when to actually bring those topics.
Mhm.
Because having children and thinking that, oh, no, no, they're in their bedroom, that means they cannot hear or they cannot see.
Mhm.
Children do hear and children do see without you knowing.
Mhm.
And that's
Mhm.
where the biggest thing is.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome insight. Thank you for that. Wow. Um, in working with women and empowering them, letting them know that they are, their own agent of change. Is there any client that you've had that really has touched you, really has come on leaps and bounds, and you have a story that you could share in how you help them?
Now, I was nominated to speak on one of the abusive channel, and the lady, because we had amazing, like what happened today, the interview was really good. And she came back to me and she said, would you be willing to actually nominate
Mhm.
someone else, especially in your own country, if it would be possible? Because she goes and she looks at different places or different countries on how they actually see, or how they actually do, what do they do about it, about the the abuse and everything. And so I got in touch with with actually my students, I would say, when I went 2018 in Africa, especially in Zanzibar. And
Mhm.
I got in touch with them because I had such a massive great connection because of what I did, and when I went there to speak and teach my program. And
Mhm.
so this woman, she came into the show, because I speak Swahili as well, okay?
Mhm.
And it's terrible sometimes, but hey. And so what happened is that they didn't have an interpreter, and I had to interpret. So it was fantastic in an
Mhm.
English and Swahili way. And so there's ladies who came there and they were
Mhm.
talking about their stories.
Mm.
That got me into my skin,
Mm.
how human beings can
Mhm.
actually hurt another person in a way that is so cruel. Because what happened is that she lived in this like kind of in the same house, but they have um like what you call it, like a roommates. So
Yeah.
like a flatmates. And
Mhm.
one of them, the woman didn't like her child because her child was making noise. So what happened was that they've got these water tanks. She took the child and put into the water tank and killed it, and killed the child.
Oh, wow.
And the saddest thing is that after she did that, she actually recorded herself to tell her on the phone, because they couldn't find the child the whole day. They were looking. It's just like 4 years old or 5. And
Mm.
they were looking for this child everywhere. They couldn't find. So the woman called the mother and left a voice note to say, "Did you find your son yet?"
Mm-mm.
And left a bit more over that. But the thing is, the bad thing about it is that the case went to the court, and because the police has been paid off, and it was very hard for her as a mother to prove that this woman did it, because
Mm.
the police, they took the case away, and it was so hard for her to do, actually look for anyone to help, and everything. So what happened was that she was asking like who can help her, to get to tell her story and to see if there is a lawyer or someone that can help her to as a pro bono case, but also to for assisting in her case and actually get these people to bring them into court and things like that. And so thank God, I don't know, it's like God put us together because I actually know a lawyer in Africa because my cousin, he's a lawyer. And so I got in contact with him and asked him, does he know anyone who does pro bono work, and if someone who can help her. And he actually put her into a to get to another lawyer who can actually do some help. And this organization that she was with, because they are actually an organization that's helping for domestic violence, but also helping, even though it's so hard in Africa because they don't have the same support as they're having here. So this
The
woman,
infrastructure.
yes, because this woman who was the kind of like the head of this organization, they don't even have enough funds to actually do, like be, uh, helping these women more that they can and they cannot. And so for me to actually do that for her, she was like, wow. And for my cousin to come back to me and say to me, yes, we're helping her, her case will make it work. And I was like, wow, I did some good. You know what I mean? I did my part and I'm so grateful for that. And that case, it's so sad because he went for 2 years, you know what I mean? And now things are coming slowly. So I hope she gets the answers she deserved, really.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And also, okay, now that is one of the case. Another one called me the other day. One of my clients, when I went to Africa 2018, I went to, after I finished my program in Zanzibar, I was invited to speak in Tanzania. I have to take a ferry, and it was my first time going by myself. Okay, guys, that's the thing about growth, you have to do things yourself, and it was the
Yes,
scariest moment of my life. So I went there, I don't know anyone, and I went and I spoke, and I was waiting for a cab to go to take me away, to take me back home. And this woman, oh, thank you. And this woman was smoking just next to me because I was outside and it was late. And she started talking to me, and I was like, well, this is what I do and everything. And she was like, oh, can I get your number? And I was like, yes, but I'm leaving. I'm going back to London in a few days, so I'm not going to be here. And she was like, I would love for you to come to our church where you can actually speak. I love what you do and everything. And I was like, yes, I would love to, but I can't. And maybe when I come back, I can do that. But anyway, I came back to London. She kept in touch with me. I actually delivered my program for free. I did it for her because the connection that we had, it was amazing. That she called me 2 days ago and she said to me, Barke, guess what? I said, what? I am my own hero, Barke. I'm like, what do you mean? And she says to me, I own my own business, Barke. I'm not working for
Oh,
anyone anymore. And I was
awesome.
like, wow, that was amazing. I love
Job
that.
well
Really.
done. Mm.
I'm glad.
Triumph, 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 triumph over adversity. That is just awesome. Wow. And
Oh,
look at you, just how lit up you are. It's awesome when we can help others and touch lives and we can see a
because
tangible outcome.
Aisha, for me,
Mm,
it's not about the money. It's not
mm,
about, even though it's my business, but it's not
yes.
about that. For me, it's actually, I get so high. I mean,
Mm,
high. I get so
mm,
high when I see another person succeed. I get so much blessed.
mhm,
The blessings coming from
mhm,
that person or everywhere or even God, because I see that person actually did some good in their lives. They can see a better
mhm,
person in their lives. And that for me, oh my goodness, money cannot give me that. Actually, the action and the belief, and that is all I need, to be honest with you.
Mhm.
And I love that.
Mhm.
Really, I truly love that.
Mhm. Mhm. So, would you say that you are walking your purpose, Barke? Definitely sounds
Oh,
like it.
yes,
Mhm.
100%. And guess what?
Awesome. Yes.
Now, because of that, I
Yes.
know my purpose. I know who I am. That guess
Mhm.
what? My ex-husband used to say to me, you,
Mhm.
woman like you, don't
Mhm.
have money, don't have education. What can I do with you? And so what
Mhm.
happened is that I actually gone back to uni. I'm in the university, and I'm
Mhm.
studying to as a clinical and community psychologist, because
Awesome.
not just for me,
Mhm.
is actually for the other women who I can help in Africa or in other countries that they don't have the same opportunity that they have here in this
Yeah.
country. That's
Yeah.
my aim. Now, my dream is actually have doctorate in psychology, and that's what I want to do. So,
Mhm.
good luck to me, because it's gonna take me, I don't know, 7 years or 8 years, but I'm ready. I'm ready
It's
for it,
not.
guys.
It's not luck. It's not luck. It's not luck. It's your
No, it's
resilience
not.
and it's your determination, and it's because you put it out there in the universe and you're gonna put in the work. Yeah. So
Exactly.
yes.
Exactly. But the point of this is that
Mm.
nobody should tell you that
Mhm.
you cannot do it.
That's
That's what
right.
the reality of it is
Mhm.
here.
Mhm.
Because I believed, okay, in a few years of my life in the past, I
Yes.
believed him. And I thought,
Mhm.
no, I'm not capable. No, I'm not worth it. It's true what
Mhm.
he's saying, but actually, it's not true. It's
Mhm.
not true, because I do not believe him anymore. I believe in me, and
Mhm.
my actions and my beliefs says
Mhm.
differently. So here
Mhm.
I am,
Mhm.
independent, single woman, proud
Mhm.
mother, and
Mhm.
amazing woman, that I am actually free, and I
Mhm.
feel good, and I love where I am right now. So thank you.
Mhm. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Barke. It's just very, very insightful. It's empowering. It is something for us to look at and study. Um, the family in any community is very, very important. It's the pillar it upholds.
Yes.
And when it breaks down, it's a heck of a thing. It's the aftermath. When women value themselves more, and this goes into our child rearing of both our boys and girls, when we teach them to value themselves more, then this should hopefully lessen what we're seeing with the family breakups, because we have to get to know ourselves and be whole, so that we're not ill affected by persons, and hopefully we'll even have persons come our way who basically mentally and emotionally abuse, because that is what you have describes when somebody wants to put another person down, tell them they'll never be anything, tell them that they're not good enough. It's something that a lot of people go through, and a lot of men and women, because it does happen to men too, domestic abuse does happen to men also, don't really know until they're educated what it is that they've actually been encountering.
Mhm.
um, so education about how we need to communicate with one another, what's toxic, what's healthy when it comes to relationships with ourselves and with others, to lessen this. So there's so much work to be done in this actual area, when it comes to valuing the female, when it comes to the men's ability to see a female and know that she has other uses than just being this person who you might call wife, who does this and who does that, and who's supposed to just be there to just, especially when you're a stay-at-home wife, just be at home and be doing all the domestic things. And that, in a sense, is quite military, to keep a home, keep it clean, keep it tidy, arrange things, arrange everyone in the house as well. Like, you need some super skills to do that. on a level, whereby it's effective and it's working. But outside of that, a woman can be who she wants to be. She can have her own goals and she could do things. She can have her own business, and she should be supported in that also. But some of these things need to be discussed at the beginning, and that's another whole area of work that needs to be done in our community, whereby couples are taught how to court properly and ask the proper questions and such, like come to proper understanding and agreement, so that when they're inside the marriage, they know what to expect to a large degree. So
It's
yeah,
true.
yeah.
It's true what you say, but at the same time,
Mm,
sometimes it can be hard because, okay, for example, I'm
mm,
someone like me. I know exactly what I want in life. Okay, now
mm.
I know.
Now
But end of the
you
day, yes.
yeah.
But end of the day, people
Mm,
sometimes don't tell you the whole truth. And
that's very
because,
true.
for example, if we go into our religion, say Catholic, Muslim,
Mm-hmm,
they get married before relationships, okay,
mm-hmm,
sometimes. And it's hard because, okay, even though you talk to the person before marriage and the
mm-hmm,
person says yes, 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 we're going to make it, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, yes, yes, let's agree. The moment they get married to you and you are
mm-hmm,
kind of like their responsibility of you,
mm-hmm,
they change their minds. And even you, sometimes as a woman, you change your mind because you're like,
mm-hmm,
oh, I need to chill. I need to be the wife. I need to do
mm-hmm,
look after him. But then you lose yourself because that is, are you going to keep up like that for the rest of your life? No. So you actually not being honest with who you are, because
mm-hmm,
you at the beginning is like a honeymoon season that you
mm-hmm,
forget you know, and then later, oh, this is not me. I don't want this. I want to work now. I want to do things. And the husband's
mm-hmm,
like, but I'm used to you staying at home. I'm used to you looking after me, you know. But
mm-hmm,
then it comes down to those two people on
mm-hmm,
how and why they are together. Because
mm-hmm,
end of the day, for me and my ex-husband, for example, we are like chalk
mm-hmm,
and cheese. I say yes, he says no. There's no
mm-hmm.
language. There's nothing to do about that. You know what I mean? Come
Yeah.
on. I say Africa, he says London. I'm like, okay, it's not
Compatibility
gonna
is
happen.
key. Compatibility is key. I'm telling
There's
you,
no
get
middle
that wrong and
ground.
you're in trouble. Mm-hmm.
Yes. So, but this is the thing you can start to doing in the beginning. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that sometimes people are great actors that you
Yeah.
don't know until you live with that person. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? And then you want to figure it out. It's like, oh my God, what have I done to myself? You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? But also, we have to understand one thing here. If
Mm-hmm.
we take this taboo about divorce and make it simple and make it easier for women to say it's okay for you to be divorced. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay if it doesn't work, or
Mm-hmm.
if someone is actually harming you. If you are in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship that is not good for you, it's okay for you to walk
Mm-hmm.
away. And you can walk away with your
Mm-hmm.
head up high. It's all
Mm-hmm.
right. Okay? It's no shame. There's no shame. They shouldn't put you down. That
Mm-hmm.
is not good people who says that, because they don't really value you. They don't see you as worthy of deserving a better life. That's wrong. And it shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
like that. So if we take that taboo out and actually believe in ourselves and make the right choices, then that's one way of living a better life. Now, another
Mm-hmm.
one is actually our children.
Mm-hmm.
We have to talk to the children, guys. I know you say, I know where I come from, children, parents don't talk to their children. Parents tell their children, we're going to do this, and that's it. The decision is made. In
Mm-hmm.
this country, we get to be taught differently. Okay, we get to understand that children are important. The children do matter. Children can make a difference in your life. For example, when I
Mm-hmm.
was going through my divorce a second time, and actually I was, so the second time in a way that I wanted to walk away at the beginning, but then couldn't because of the situation, I came back. The second time when I said I'm done and I was
Mm-hmm.
serious, and that
Mm-hmm.
when I started seeing my children and actually talking to them and say to them, this is what is happening. I need you to know, and for you to understand that it's okay if you have opinion. And it's
mm,
okay, because end of the day, this thing is happening. Okay, I
mm,
need you on board, and I need you to tell me whatever is going on in your mindset, whatever is happening in your mind, for me to be able to help you.
mhm,
Because we traumatize our own children, thinking
mhm,
that is the worst thing happening when it's divorce, thinking that
mm,
they're not going to get both parents. The parents
mhm,
are always there. And I said that to my children: you will see your dad, okay? And you can visit him anytime you want. End of the day, all I need is to know where you are.
mhm,
All I need is for him to contact you because you've got a phone.
mm,
He doesn't need to contact me. He's leaving me, he's not leaving you. And when the children have that understanding, it's a
mhm,
bit better. But guess what, guys? Okay, nothing is easy in this life. The children will always rebel, the children will always make it hard. But it's for you as a parent to actually stay and to actually talk to them. Do not go on top of them and just be strict. You're going to lose your child. Be
mm,
understanding and actually talk to them as a human being, is actually like a grown up, and say to them, hey, after my husband left and I got my divorce, okay, he left me with the all the areas in the world you've ever heard of. Okay, I was in
mhm,
financial difficulty. I couldn't even
mm,
put food on the table, and I didn't have a job. I had to
mm,
sit down with my children and actually tell them, this is what's happening right now. So be
mhm,
patient with me. I'm going to be
mm,
grumpy and I'm going to be on edge, but this is nothing to do with you. This is just me. I'm adjusting. And it's okay. If you want to talk to me, I'm going to be available at this time. Yes, I did that, guys. Yes. six
How
o'clock
old
in
were
the
your
evening.
children? How
They
old were
were
they?
they were 14 and 15 at the time.
Okay. Mhm,
And now they're 18 and 19. And
mhm,
I am happy and I'm so blessed. I live with
mm,
my children. I nearly lost my home. I didn't. God happened. I looked at my jewelry box and I was like, you're just sitting down there. I need money. Sorry.
mhm,
Go and sold
mhm,
them and pay for my place so I can stay. Okay. And
mhm,
make sure my children have food in the table. I had to do
mm,
what I had to do to ensure that. But end of the day, I am here today
mm,
because of my challenges in life, and I am proud to have those challenges. And this is why I grow and I become the best version of myself.
mm. Excellent. Well said. Well said. The part about children is very, very important, because it does affect everybody, and they do need to understand that it's not their fault, you know,
Yeah.
and that both parents are still there and love and care for them. That's very
Yeah.
important, and it's a good thing that you brought that up, you know. And I do think that there is a bit of a taboo about divorce, actually,
Yeah.
um, and it really needs to be removed. It needs to be removed because life does happen. It does happen. And those divorced people, they go on into other relationships, into other marriages, should they choose to in the future. So, it's not like a set of people that have, somehow messed up or whatever and need to be looked down upon because they're divorced. No, it's people who have made decisions that they feel is best for themselves, best for their family. A lot of people stay together for the sake of the family. Very dysfunctional. The children witness so much and end up terribly messed up and in therapy for years on end from being shown the incorrect version of what a so-called happy family is like, where people are pretending and lying to themselves basically every day.
Yeah.
Very unhappy, very resentful, and sad. And that's not an environment for anybody to
No.
be raised in. So complex, but everyone has to go into themselves and make that decision of what it is they need to do that's going to be best for them to you know be at peace. To be at peace. So you do a lot of things. What are we to expect from you in the future? What are you working on? What projects are you involved in? What services are you going to be giving your clients and people that need help?
So at the moment, I've actually put myself in different projects. So
Mhm,
one of them is for people who have different beliefs. So it can be Muslim, Christian, whatever beliefs you're believing.
mhm,
It's so I coach those people into their belief system. So because
mhm,
most of the time we cannot change because of our belief system, but not just
mhm,
the belief of way of life, but also the belief of our religion. And that
mhm,
can sometimes make it harder for ourselves to move on or do things differently. So that's
mhm,
aspect I'm doing in with someone. She's in Egypt at the moment. So
mhm,
it's coming up. And another one that I'm doing is self-development for mentors, coaches, and speakers. And
mhm,
this is a group that is on Facebook. You can check it out. And this one, I do weekly videos on Thursdays, and also used to do like a monthly, but now I've stopped because of uni. But also, so this is a project that I want to actually give back to
mhm,
African people in later on. That's me and one of the partner that I'm with. Her name is Eve Mapande, and she's Kenyan as well. So
mhm,
she wants to go back to Africa to live there, and we want to come together and help the women and men to actually make money to be coaches and to be speakers and to be mentors. And
mhm,
so, how they do that by actually working on themselves, but also working on their business. And that I do with her, and it's a weekly basis on Thursdays, and it's
mhm,
really amazing. So, you can check that out as well. And
mhm,
also, because I'm in uni, so I'm
mhm,
also doing videos that I help with university, but also in myself. There is a platform that I do in my YouTube. It's called
mhm,
Soul Purpose Leaders. And
mhm,
one day I hope to see you there, because
mhm,
I actually interview women who are powerhouse and men that
mhm,
are doing things because they believe in helping other people. My
mhm,
aim or my purpose, my life is devoted to help other people. And it's
yes.
not just women, but to help
Mhm,
the humanity. That's my
that's it.
goal. That's my end
Yeah.
goal. And
Mhm,
so, whatever I'm doing right now, it's kind of like going closer to that dream, because I want to open my own charity that I can be able to go and travel more
mhm,
often in Africa
mhm,
or other places that they need for
mhm,
inspiration or empowerment and motivation,
mm,
because and to give them that, to give it back to the community, and
yeah.
that's the aim. So there is another woman that I also help. Her name is Desiree Richardson, and
Mhm,
she is all about Women of Heart Foundation. She also
mhm,
does women, what you call it, Woha. It's for women, for the face of Woha. So she actually celebrates women to who are doing in business different things, and
mhm,
she helps them to give them awards and to actually appreciate them accomplish, to show their accomplishments and everything. That
mhm,
is one of it. And the other person that I actually support is his name is Unisa Kamara. He's
mhm,
known also for Kamara Youths. So
mhm,
he only cares about youth in England, but also Sierra Leone. And
mhm,
he used to live in America, and now he's living in England. And
mhm,
he actually empowers the youth, especially the children who maybe even gone to prison, how they can actually help themselves. And he's helping with other community, and he has his own TV. I've been there for a couple of times. You can check my YouTube or even my Facebook. You shall see those videos. And so
mhm,
what I'm doing here is not for me, is actually
mhm,
helping to be able to help other people. And that's
yeah.
why I'm doing what I'm talking to you right now is not for
Mhm,
me, is I'm
mhm,
actually empowering another woman who's going through what I went through.
that's
So this
right.
is all
Mhm,
about that. There's nothing here that I want in
mhm,
life, is actually to see that person grow and become who or what they want to become. That is it.
mhm. Awesome. So people can connect with you on social media, on Instagram and also Facebook and LinkedIn. And
Yes.
wow, it's just been awesome, awesome spending time with you and hearing your story, just so vivid in how you paint it. And I just love your expression, and the work that you're doing is needed in this world, because
Yes.
there's so much going on. And
Mm.
if you had a message or just a few words of encouragement for our listeners who may be in a situation whereby they need encouragement to go into themselves and really just be honest and find the bravery to make changes, what would you say?
Okay. There is one technique that I love to do. This
Mhm.
technique actually woken me up, and you can use it for yourself. Now,
Yeah.
like my book says, okay, what is your name? Now, look
Mhm.
at yourself in the mirror every single
Mhm.
day, like you're putting your makeup on. I know most of you
Mhm.
women putting your makeup on. I like my
Mhm.
lipstick, that's all. I don't put any other makeup. But if you
Mhm.
love to just look at yourself and zone out and not really
Mhm.
paying attention to you, today
Mhm.
or tomorrow, you can start before you zone out that little time that you have. Just look at yourself in the mirror and connect to yourself and actually check in. Hello,
Mhm.
how are you? How you doing? Just check in with yourself. Be
Mhm.
real, be honest. And the most important thing I used to do is that call my name. I call my name more than
Mhm.
once. And I used to tell myself when I look at myself in the mirror and I say to my name, I call my name and say, Barke, I love you. Just
Mhm.
say it. Don't wait for another person to tell you, I love you, for you to feel something. Why don't
Mhm.
you just give that back to yourself? Barke,
Exactly.
I love you. Just say it
Mhm.
a couple of times every
Mhm.
day, every single day. Every time you see a mirror or a reflection of yourself. I used to
Mhm.
even like sometimes I'll be on the tube, it's so funny,
Mhm.
or I'll be walking and I'll see
Mhm.
myself and I'm
Mhm.
like, hey, sexy, how you doing? And it's just amazing.
Speak life into yourself, yeah?
Yes,
At every chance you get.
yes, because
Mhm.
come on, when someone else tells you, hey,
Mhm.
sexy, how you doing, you
Mhm.
feel sometimes cheap because it's just like, do you want to sleep with me or do you see me I'm sexy for
Mhm.
today, tomorrow you're gonna see me sexy too, what's happening?
Mhm. Mhm.
It's only temporary. Do you get what I'm saying? So, but
Yeah.
if you say to yourself, it's genuine. You
Mhm.
actually mean it, and you can actually keep on saying different things. I am
Mhm.
beautiful. I'm
Mhm.
amazing. I used to even do like this, guys. Okay, I used to take
Mhm.
off all my clothes. I
Mhm.
used to take
Mhm.
off all my clothes,
Yeah.
stand in front of a mirror, and
Mhm.
actually telling myself, okay, because I used to be size 6, guys, okay, I used to be size 6 on dress, okay, before I had my children. After
Yeah.
having children, the different
Mhm.
story. So I used to
Mhm.
look at my body and I used to
Mhm.
say, without my children, okay, without my children, my body won't look like this, but I feel good. Okay, my
Mhm.
saggy breast, I love them. My
Mhm.
belly a bit big, I love it. Okay,
Mhm.
I love the way I look now. I feel good and it's okay. So give
Mhm.
that love back to you.
Mhm.
When things are not going good for you, give some love. Don't shout at yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Tell yourself it's okay. People make
Mhm.
mistakes. I make mistakes. I'm not
Mhm.
a robot. I'm not inhuman. I'm human. Remind yourself because
Mhm.
we forget. I used to be so hard on myself and I used to beat myself so much that it
Yeah.
used to hurt me and it used to
Mhm.
make me feel like I'm nothing. But then
Mhm.
someone gave me this idea. You know,
Mhm.
20 pounds or 50-pound note, okay? If you take that note and actually put in the mud, okay, and then take it out and clean it, go
Mhm.
to the shop, would that note you can buy things or not? Will the person tell you no, you cannot use this note because it's too dirty? Would they say that?
They wouldn't. They take your money.
Exactly. So why we put ourselves in a bad
Mhm.
place, but then
Mhm.
looking at ourselves, I am still capable. I'm still able to stand up and do or make a difference in my life. Why are
Mhm.
we not still thinking that we're worthwhile for us to actually do some good in our lives? So we have
Mm.
to understand we're still worth it. We do deserve it. We can make a difference in our life. So look at
Mhm.
yourself today and be proud
Mhm.
of you because
Mhm.
you are here for a reason. So claim it, claim you.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. And I'm sure that that message has helped many because during this time, there are people who, are in mental and emotional distress. So
True.
a message like that is definitely what's needed. And I definitely know that as women and working with women that we can beat ourselves up so much,
Yeah.
make a mistake. Oh my God, it's the worst thing ever. And that internal speech in the
Mm.
mind can just be just drawing you down, to almost like a flat line. And we have to develop the tools to be able to pick ourselves back up, and affirmations is very good,
Yeah.
and I'm actually in the process of writing a book on
Ooh.
affirmations, so I'm on my way to becoming an author, so look out for that. And yes, thank you. So yeah, thank you. Thank you, Barke, for coming on the Aisha Muhammad podcast and just sharing your light. And everyone who is watching, please share this podcast once we've ended so that it can bless more people. And I'll see you again in another fortnight with another amazing powerhouse guest. Just look out for the flyer, okay? It's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome. So stay tuned and like the podcast page if you haven't already. And yeah, let's continue to keep this going. Barke, you're such a force, and I'm just so happy that we've connected. I'm so happy that we've connected. You just are my kind of sister,
Thank you.
you know. Just keep doing what you're doing, and all the best with your studies. And
Thank you.
we can talk about your YouTube activities because that sounds real good
Yes.
to me. Okay, and have a blessed night, sister. You take
Thank you.
care,
You too.
listening audience, replay viewers. Have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.